In this video, we're going to be going over 8 pressure washing chemicals that are the most important for cleaning properly and maximizing on profit for your pressure washing business. We're also going to be covering what the stains look like that these chemicals treat, how to price them, and how to stay safe on the job. But we are saving the most important chemical for last, so hang out with us until the end for that. But this month, we are giving away a full year of QuoteIQ Elite. That is our top tier, which includes features like InstaQuote, InstaSchedule, route optimization, mass text and email blasts, email automations, pipelines, as well as a ton of other awesome features. We're also giving away 1 full year of QuoteIQ virtual call team, so that way you never miss a call again. And lastly, we're going to be giving away 5 QuoteIQ ads that come in over 20 different industries to choose from, so that there's something there for everybody. All you guys have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment on this video, "I want to win," in order to be entered. And if you want more coaching on chemicals and how to mix them, how to clean every surface on both residential and commercial properties, as well as equipment and much more, be sure to check out the How to Wash 2 course with the second link in the comment section and the description. And it's got all the info you need in order to launch your pressure washing business. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Today, we're going to be talking about 7 chemicals that you need to keep on your truck, both for upsells and for, different stains that you're going to encounter. We're going to talk through what those stains look like, how much to price them for, and as you guys can see, we got 5 chemicals here, so there's 2 missing. We're going to talk about those bonus chemicals here in just a second, but I'm joined with Jacob. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So if you guys didn't notice, this is actually Jacob's chemical line right here. So we're going to be going through some of the new chems that Jacob's got available and talking through how we can be utilizing them on the truck. So Jacob, take us through. First things first, you want to start with the Ox Killer?
Yeah, so this is actually a brand new one. A bunch of y'all probably don't watch my channel, but I put these 3 on there a while back. We just got these 2 in yesterday. The Ox Killer, obviously for oxidation, if you don't know. And what the difference is between this oxidation, and you can also use this one, which we'll talk about in a second, but this one will say Oxidation Remover on it also. The difference is this one's just a brushless oxidation remover, meaning that you don't have to spray it on and then brush it to brush the oxidation off before you rinse it. You just spray this on, let it do its work, and then you're able to rinse it off right after. So real good chemical to have. It is a little bit more pricey than the actual Gutterbrite, which is also an oxidation remover, like I said, but less physical labor involved with that one as well.
Absolutely. So before we move on, Jacob, Ox Killer, the way you need to test to know that you need an oxidation remover is you can rub your fingers over, typically it's vinyl siding, and you usually get that chalky paint on your fingers. Jacob, you want to give an example of a time where we've used Ox Killer to remove something?
Yeah, like Justin was saying, just on vinyl siding, hardy plank, different surfaces like that, rub your fingers on it. If you see dust, not dirt like this, truck's dirty, but if you see actual dust, that's just the paint's fading and being removed by the sun, sitting in the sun too long or overexposure, and that's whenever this would come in. One tip on this, don't use oxidation remover on aluminum gutters. We have made that mistake in the past, and we completely removed all the paint from the man's gutters, and we had to pay for it at the end of the day, so he could come in, or he could have somebody come in and repaint all of his gutters. It wasn't our fault necessarily, because he had them repainted in the past, and we had done that job previously about 3 years before we actually did it the second time, and nothing happened the first time. So he had them repainted within that 3-year span, and we removed all the paint. He said, "Can you try to remove the oxidation?" And I said, "As long as you say it's okay." And I was taking a video at the time, so we got that on video just to make sure that we had him saying it was okay. Put that on there, and it completely stripped the paint off of the gutters. So don't use oxidation removal on any type of aluminum or any type of metal or anything like that.
Right, and we've actually had a house that had such bad siding with regards to oxidation that we put a little bit of pressure on it, takes the paint clean off. So if you want to piss off your customer really quickly, pressure wash, put a lot of pressure on oxidized siding. If you find some siding that's super oxidized, you need to upsell this chemical, and you need to let your customer know that you probably won't be able to get it completely clean, because literally, if it's bad enough, you won't be able to put any pressure on it without getting those wavy streaks in the paint. So Ox Killer, first one. Jacob, how much would you charge for an oxidation removal job, or kind of what are the parameters on charging?
For the job itself, it is more of an expensive upsell. If you are able to land oxidation removal, then it's definitely beneficial to you. We charge anywhere from, I would say, depending on how bad it is and the type of siding it's on, then we kind of base it off of that, based off of the customer. I mean, we don't really have a set oxidation removal price as far as like square footage or anything like that. It's just kind of based off of how we're feeling. One tip, I say don't apply to any aluminum painted surfaces. Correction, don't apply to any aluminum painted surfaces that use an organic based paint. So like Sherwin-Williams sells organic based paint, which also bleach will remove the paint with that. But make sure you know that it's either the manufacturer paint that's on it. Like I said, he had those gutters repainted, so it was just a crappy paint that was on the gutters, and that's why it removed it. You can absolutely use this on painted aluminum, sheet metal, or regular painted gutters if that's the manufacturer's chemical or paint that's still on the surface.
One important thing is, guys, test out all these chemicals. Test out how long it takes you to clean with them, the procedures, like everything before you actually go and implement it on a customer's property. If you know it takes you 2 to 3 hours to remove so much oxidation on, certain size home, then you're like, hey, we want to make $100 an hour. Great, it's a $300 job. So you can always charge based upon that, but I would definitely say to try all these chemicals out first before you actually charge for a job with them. So Jacob, with that being said, let's move on to the next one. And the next one is mud away. So in what cases can we use mud away, and what's it for?
Okay, so mud away is, we use it a lot of times on like new construction. The construction crews come through, they build new houses or develop new subdivisions. Like we've done in the past, we've gone through and cleaned entire neighborhoods with this stuff, because whenever they're actually building a house, you get that splash of mud up on the side of the brick or vinyl, or really around the full perimeter of the home. And that's what this is utilized for in most cases. You can use this on concrete, you can use it on siding, whatever the case may be. If you got dirt stains that won't come off, red clay stains, anything like that, then that's where we use this. This is also a rust stain remover. It's not going to work as well as one of the ones that we're going to talk about down here in a minute, but it can be utilized for that too.
Absolutely. A good way to get business, if you guys want to do this kind of red clay removal, is make up a flyer and go to new subdivisions, and you can pass that around the new subdivisions with the before and after of the red clay removed, because a lot of those people will know what you're talking about because they probably have it on their house due to all the construction. So that's a good way to go to get that one. And when you get your before and after picture, see how long it takes you, see what you want to price it at, and all those different kind of things. So Jacob, with that being said, we got Lemon Dancer here. That sounds kind of exotic. What is that, man?
Oh, it'll make you dance for sure. So Lemon Dancer, this is going to be a surfactant, so it's a bleach additive, and we personally only use surfactant on roof washes, shingle roof washes. We don't put this on anybody's house or anything like that. We have a bad experience with leaving spots everywhere all over vinyl in the past whenever we first got into business and didn't know any better. But this is a real good surfactant and bleach additive, especially if you want to mitigate the smell of the bleach after you're done spraying it, or whatever the case may be. You can either dilute this with water, throw it in a pump sprayer, and go around and just spray the grass edges along the house if you want to just kind of get rid of that bleach smell that everybody knows. Or if you're doing a shingle roof, then this is what we use, and it's a real good additive. It clings to the shingle very well whenever it's mixed with bleach, for their stronger mixes to keep the chemical sitting on the surface longer, to help that reaction time.
Right. And like Jacob said, with regards to siding, it will spot up siding. It'll also spot up windows really bad too. So on any of those roof washes, you want to make sure, we keep Windex and paper towels in the truck, just in case, we need to clean up any windows after. And rinsing it is always good, but you want to make sure you're rinsing really well whenever you're using a good surfactant, because it'll stay there forever, right, Jacob?
They also make a high foaming surfactant, which we will be getting later on in the future. This is just the cheaper surfactant, I guess you could say, because it's not as high foaming. It requires a little bit more ratio than the high foaming. The high foaming works very, very well, and they sell the high foaming and I think the regular one in like a grape. They sell like a green forest scent, a few different ones that we'll be getting in the future. So
Lemon Dancer, the next one, obviously, Jacob, we got Rust Pro here. I remember multiple occasions I was on customers' property, and they had orange stains on the concrete, and I didn't know what to do with them. And they're like, "Hey, can you get these out?" And I'm like, "I'll do my best," but of course, pressure will not get these stains out. You need something like a rust chemical. So you want to talk a little bit about the rust one, Jacob?
Yeah. So these last two, the Rust Pro and the next one that we're going to be talking about, the Gutterbrite, that is probably our two easiest upsells, at least in our experience. Because everybody's sidewalks, everybody's drains, if they have drains around their pool, whatever the case may be, anywhere where there's metal, present, whether it's under the surface of the concrete or if it's on a drain, the rust is going to be present, and a lot of times by water spigots or, different things where water is constantly running and there's metal involved or around the area. That's whenever this will come in. We've actually had jobs where we've done full parking lots that were actually full of rust, not very big parking lots, but parking lots where like machine shops or welding shops, stuff like that, where the whole parking lot there'd be a huge area of rust. And this is what we put on it. We just put it on there straight, and you know, it works almost instantly. And then after you pressure wash it, you can't guarantee, just like with any of these chemicals, you can't guarantee to the customer that you can get it off, but this one's pretty close whenever it comes to removing the rust stains.
Absolutely. Another one you'll see is irrigation systems. Well, people have a lot of rust on, you know, sidewalks and things of that nature. So I remember one specific time that we did a rust removal. I think it was like at a Capitol building, and we didn't have a pump-up spray or anything. And so Kale used a water bottle in order to clean some rust stains. You remember that one?
Punch a hole in the top.
That's right. That's right. So if you guys don't have pump-up sprayers, obviously, you know, you can use a water bottle if you have to. Now, one important thing with regards to all these chemicals, guys, is don't mix these chemicals. Obviously, you know, when you got the surfactant, you can obviously mix that one with bleach, but all these other ones I wouldn't mix with anything because they could cause a chemical reaction. So it's important that you guys keep you know, some pump-up sprayers on the truck and fresh, so that way you're not having to clean those out, just in the instance that you need these. The last one, Jacob, Gutterbrite, and it's not really the last one because we got two bonus ones for y'all, which are probably more important than all of these. But you want to talk about Gutterbrite a little bit?
Yeah, so Gutterbrite, definitely our most used one out of these 5, other than probably the surfactant. Gutterbrite is definitely our easiest and most used chemical whenever it comes to upselling on jobs, because for one, we're able to use it for the black tiger stripes, as everybody calls them, the hard watermarks coming down the white gutters or lighter colored gutters, or on lighter colored siding. If you're looking up on the fascias and stuff like that by the soffits of a home, sometimes they'll have those black streaks that bleach won't remove. That's when this comes in. You may have to brush it, agitate it a little bit with a brush or a rag, whatever the case may be. But for the most part, we've never had any issues. I think the biggest gutter brightening job we've ever done, and I guess profited on, was we did around 800 foot of gutters with this, and we just put it on there straight. One of us wetting the gutters before we applied it, because it was hot outside. Gutters were real hot that day. You don't want it to just dry on the surface as soon as you put it on there. Wet the gutters. Somebody come behind with a pump sprayer, spray this, and then a third guy, our helper, behind us, coming back with a brush or a rag and wiping behind us, and then you know, the first man pre-wetting, coming behind and rinsing it off as he was wiping. So real good for those hard watermarks. This is also an oxidation removal, but you will have to brush this in most cases. Apply it to the surface after you wet the surface, and then either brush it with a rag or a soft bristle brush, which I recommend keeping on your truck at all times anyway. Brush it with that, and then you're good to rinse it off, and you can just watch the oxidation, you know, be removed from the surface. So a little more physical than the actual Ox Killer, because this is brushless. This is spray and rinse. This is a spray, brush, and rinse.
Got it. Now, Jacob, you got one coming to the lineup here, so we're going to give you guys a bonus one on top of the other two that we mentioned at the beginning of the video. But the bonus one is a wood cleaner. You want to talk a little bit about that one?
Yeah, so we will be getting an actual wood brightener. Right now, we do have some Ox 10 and some Ox 8 at the shop, but we will be getting our own wood brightener with our label on it as well, coming soon. Like I said, we just got these two in yesterday, so we're kind of slowly working our way up to, you know, having everything that you would need in the near future. But the wood brightener real good for, you know, fences, or we've done like all cedar houses in the past where it would have worked great for that instead of using bleach, because it's actually great for bringing the wood back to its original color if the homeowner doesn't plan on staining or resealing whatever type of wood it is. If you're doing a fence, a lot of times people aren't staining those, they just want the black and the green removed from them. So I mean, if you spray it with bleach, you can bring the color back, but it won't look as good or as new as if you were to put a wood brightener on it.
So wood brightener's coming up. Now, Jacob, let's talk about the last two. The first one I want to talk about is the degreaser. And the degreaser you guys will probably use more than any of these. Which degreaser do you like, and what instances is it particularly important?
So we're still debating on whether or not we're actually going to be bringing in a degreaser under our own chemical line, because we've been using the Hotter Than Hell. And we have used different degreasers in the past, and the Hotter Than Hell is definitely the go-to for us. That's the one that we keep in stock at the store, and we love it. We've never used a degreaser that works as well as the Hotter Than Hell or as fast as the Hotter Than Hell. If you put hot water with it, Hotter Than Hell, it's gonna work great. I assume. We don't use hot water, we just use cold water, but hot water always enhances, you know, the removal of oil stains or grease stains, stuff like that. And we haven't really had any issues with using cold water. But again, with everything, you can't guarantee removal of oil stains. That is like the one thing that I will never guarantee to anybody, is that I will be able to get this oil stain out of their concrete, because it's most likely not going to happen. The only way to do that, bust the concrete up and re-pour it. If y'all find a way, or if y'all know a way that we can get oil stains completely out of concrete, comment below what it is and how you do it, because I'll pay you some money to give me that information.
Absolutely. So the degreaser we find that we use most on those commercial properties, so gas stations, truck stops, things of that nature, and just places that have a lot of foot traffic and, you know, car traffic. So not as much at homeowners' houses and properties. I like to steer clear of, you know, trying to say that we remove oil stains, just because of that fact right there, Jacob. It's like not 100% that it's coming out, so it's hard to set that expectation with the customer, and they come back out and they say, hey, it's not all the way gone. So it's just one of those things to keep in mind when you're talking about degreasers. Now, the last one we're talking about is the most important chemical, and that is sodium hypochlorite. Now, most people probably don't need to know about it, Jacob, but let's go ahead and talk about it just for a minute, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's used for literally everything that we do, except for mixing with these chemicals, other than the surfactant, obviously. Roofs, house, driveway. On the residential side, that's our main focus whenever it comes to targeting different services. Obviously, you got your additives like wood brightening, oxidation removal, or red clay stain removal, whatever the case may be. But you know, whenever somebody's calling you, they want one of them three services 99% of the time. So bleach is your number one go-to. It's got to be on your truck every day if you're going to wash. It definitely enhances property protection, because you're not putting any direct pressure on any vinyl siding, on any hardy plank. The only thing that we put high pressure on is sometimes brick, depending on how brittle it is. And if we're not able to put high pressure, bleach is our go-to. We crank the mix up a little bit, throw it on some brick, on the brick that's brittle and got a lot of algae buildup, and then we use a J-rod or the ball valve on our pressure washer, come behind it and rinse it off. And it's a lot easier to rinse off and clean up, cleans up a lot better than whenever you're just applying high pressure. So definitely the go-to every day.
Right. So sodium hypochlorite is going to help you kill all those organics, so that way, you know, you're not damaging anything, like Jacob said. Now, where you get that from, obviously you guys can get jugs at Walmart and places like that. Once you've kind of upgraded your equipment setup and you got a bleach tank on board, you guys can go to places like the Pro Wash Shop and, you know, even pool stores, places that can disperse a lot of, you know, SH at one time. Jacob, what would you say is a good price for SH, at least where we're at right now?
Right now we have it priced at $2.75 for 50 gallons or more, $3 for anything under 50 gallons. I know, like Justin said, you can go get it from Walmart or Lowe's, you know, the big box stores, and get it from like Lowe's or Walmart. We have it at $2.75 for 50 and above per gallon, and then anything under 50 gallons we're at $3. You're not going to get that at those big box stores. You're paying like $6-7 a gallon. Whenever we first opened up the store, we had a guy come in and he said there's no way that you can be profitable in this business, because it just cost me like $800 in bleach to wash a house and a roof. And we were like, you're not doing something right, something's wrong here. And he didn't come to us to buy the bleach, so we asked him, you know, where'd you get your bleach from? And he said Lowe's. And we were like, okay, well, there we go. That's why. Because for one, he didn't buy the pool chlorine or bleach, whatever you want to call it. He bought regular store like Clorox, and which is half the strength of what we sell. And so he had to basically put a gallon, he used it straight out of the gallon to do the roof, I'm sure. So it ended up costing him around $700 or $800 in just bleach to do the job. So
there you go. And that chlorine has been diluted. Once it's set on the shelf for so long, then it also gets diluted even further. So if you guys want to go straight to the source, find a source for your bleach. And then, like Jacob said, $2.75 a gallon. Anyway, Jacob, anything else you want to say with regards to the chemicals?
I mean, that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for the wood brightener coming soon. We're going to continue to use hotter than hell for now. We're not going to get our own line of degreaser yet, because you know, having to pay for everything out of pocket, trying to save some money for one, but for two, we love the hotter than hell. Work great for us. Y'all come by, check out these chemicals in the future if you're in the area. And
if you guys are in Louisiana, check out the Pro Wash store and you can grab these in person. These aren't available online yet, right, Jacob?
No, not yet. Online sales coming hopefully future. I ain't gonna say near future because I don't know how soon it'll be, but yeah, hopefully one day we'll get to that point. Can't get there without you guys, so be sure to come check us out.
Absolutely. If you guys made this far in the video, comment down below Skittles, because that's what I feel like when I look at these, man. They're all kind of bright colors. So until next time, though, hustle hard, get that money, baby. Peace.